It is a stunningly beautiful day here in paradise. Look, we've got sunshine and actual shadows causing all manner of difficulties for me today. But we've got a slight problem with the Australian Ford that I'm going to dig into right now. You'll notice we're still on mismatched wheels. I've ordered a set of tyres to the same dimensions as the rear tyres. These are 55 profiles, the rears are 60. So there'll be more wheels coming in a future video. But I'm increasingly liking the sporty look, maybe because it's different. Before I get into this one though, I just want to shout out about our Fourth Wall merch store, where you can purchase hats such as this one, embroidered logo. They're a bit more expensive than regular beanies because these are made individual order. So you order it, they print it and they send it, and apparently anywhere in the world. So Germany, this may be your chance at last, and other European buyers. We've had to knock European sales on the head because the regulations are just getting utterly ridiculous. But let's find out why we're here working on my Australian Ford and being distracted further from the Holden Barina, as Australians would know it. This is a Vauxhall Corsa here in England, Wales and Scotland. In Ireland, it's an Opel Corsa, the same as continental Europe. But rear lights, that's why we're here. You see, a very common problem on these Ford AUs is the bulb holders simply fall apart. I've had to tape this one in just so I've got a working bulb just to get back up here, because we discovered it last night when we were out on the road. And actually what we discovered is that the bulb was rolling around inside the lamp unit. And if I peel the tape off, shouldn't have set very hard because it hasn't been there that long. I might need both hands for that. So yeah, Leanne, Whiteland Restorations, was following us down the road last night going, "You got a light out?" And I was just like, I know I've got a light out, and I know why I've got a light out, and it's not good news. I didn't know at the time, but have since discovered that this bulb holder is Kaputski. I think that bulb is as well. I think we've lost one of the elements on that. I don't think the brake light's working, so we've got a new bulb as well. But this is the problem. The plastic on AU, and just the AU, not the subsequent BAs, the plastic degrades with thermo. So this is the tail light and brake light. So it's going to see a lot of heat, especially if you're holding the brakes on in traffic, which I do try not to do, but sometimes it does happen. And yeah, the plastic degrades, and now the bulb, let's just get the new bulb, can no longer be held. It goes in, but there's nothing to hold the bulb and stop it coming out. Now in Australia, you would nip to your Super Cheap Auto or Repco, and they will probably sell you generic bulb holders that'll fit. Maybe I can get those here, but we're about 20 miles away from any of the nearest motor factors, and I'm not convinced they'll have them. I mean, they should have something that would work, but I think step one, no, I don't think it's going to work actually. I was wondering if I could use Q-Bond to rebuild the plastic. So if I tape the inside of the lamp, can I use Q-Bond to rebuild this bit? But I think the Q-Bond would just end up going all the way down there. It's where you pour a powder in and then you pour the glue on top, and it actually chemically reacts with it. But I don't think that's going to be the one for us. I don't think it's going to work. Also, I'd have to try and engineer into it the groove to hold the bulb, and I don't know how you're going to do that. So I fear replacement is going to be the only option, but what have I got? I don't think I've got anything. This could be more problematic than I realised. Oh, hello doggo. Got a little doggo down here coming to say hello. Are you well? Are you needing some attention? Are you being horribly neglected? I'm sure you are. Dogs always are horribly neglected. So yeah, I need to work out what to do. This could be a bit of a puzzler. Maybe a dry day, but it is not a warm day. So I've tried to build up a little gap between two bits of tape. Oh, missed. Yeah, sort of. I don't think this is a great idea. Right. Let's try not to waste too much more of this powder. quite a lot of it is just falling out. So with the powder in, sorry this isn't a very good view of it, we squirt the super glue in. You can actually see it starts smoking. There's a chemical reaction going on where the powder starts turning into something a lot more solid, but I'm not utterly convinced this is going to work. But long term I need new bulb holders, but I'm not getting those immediately, so I think this is probably our best bet. I just don't think it's going to be an awfully effective one, but of course the wind's starting to get up now, and got so much black powder missing. I'm going to have to try and recoup some of that. Yes, I think this will be an unsuccessful operation, but perhaps an interesting experiment. We shall see. We shall let that cure off for a moment. It doesn't take very long, and we'll come back and try it, I guess. I need this car working because too many do not at the moment. The big Australian Ford is our big daily driver. We've got Desmond the Perodua Canary, who is surprisingly good, but sometimes you just want a bit more size and comfort. This one is out of action. We've got a Duff ball joint, so that's why Bella the Berlingo is yet again in the unit at the moment. The Corsa is just too nice to be out, and I don't really want the 2CV out. There's loads of salt down on the roads at the moment, and living in Wales, that salt is combined with mud and it just rots cars out. It is vicious. So ideally, you know, winter car, we'd have the Pajero Junior at the back, but we haven't been able to touch that for weeks. Let's go and have a quick look at it. And of course the Invacar is up the back here, still resting and hiding from the worst of the weather. But this is the Pajero Junior. We need to crack on with it, but the next step is to roll around underneath it and find the starter motor and try and get the starter motor out so we can carry on with the cam belt job. We've got to undo the crank pulley, and on an automatic there aren't many ways to lock an engine that actually work. So there's that, and of course the Daihatsu at the back. It could do with coming out as well really, but work to be done there as well. Steering rack, and it still smokes, but at least I'm getting a good chance to test these hats. It is certainly nice and warm, but let's give it a bit longer and we'll see if that's cured up. Well, actually this bodge is working a bit better than I thought. I've actually managed to get a bulb in there. You can see it's not particularly neat, but it has given the bulb something to lock up against. So I may try and do a bit more. This, I'm almost tempted to seal the bulb in. This is a brand new bulb, and given I'm going to try and acquire a replacement bulb unit, maybe I'll just sacrifice the bulb and just seal that in. At least I know it won't come out again, because that is the problem. Once it's rattling around here, believe me, it takes quite some getting out. I had to deploy the tiny fingers of Miss HubNut to get the bulb out this morning. All good fun. Look at the chaos in this boot. Still got the trolley jack in here. There we go. That's way too much powder. Spilt loads everywhere. But nonetheless, I think this is our best bet. And now the magic goo. There we go. You can kind of see the smoke coming off it a bit. And we'll leave that to harden, and we'll give it a test. Maybe a bit too permanent a solution, but at least it gets us mobile again now. I'll tell you what, while you're keeping an eye on it, now we've got side lights. We've got side lights. If I put that bulb in the wrong way around, that looks very bright. Pop the ignition on and see if we get bright lights. No. I think I've just bodged the bulb in the wrong way around. Nuts. We don't seem to have any brake light going on. Oh no. I presume we've got brake lights the other side. Do me a favour and do let me know. Well, that would seem like a yes. So why are we not getting brake lights on the other side? This is all a bit mysterious. I'm going to pop the lamp in just to see what the brightness levels are like. Yeah, this is looking a bit like that's a bit too bright, isn't it? Well, it doesn't look fully bright enough. Ignition on, foot on the brake. Yeah, I can see in the Corsa, but there's no brake light reaction on this side. I think I've just sealed the bulb in the wrong way around. Oh, marvellous. Right, look at that for a quality repair. The good old twist wires. It's getting a bit too cold to do anything. My fingertips are absolutely frozen. So let's try it now and see if we get a brake light scenario going on. Ignition on. Is that working there? Oh, we got a wiring issue. I have to look back at the footage to see. The risk of getting further frostbite. Let's see if we can find out what's going on here. Oh, interesting. Just a bit of looseness there. We have got brake light going on. Let's just pop the sides back on again as well. So if we unbrake, should still have side light. And if we brake again, brake light's gone again. There we go. Oh, maybe it's just my poor connection there. There we go. Indicator and brake light are actually working. So we may have fixed that one. Indicator off, side light. We've got the side light. There we go. Give some more brakey presses. Brake, 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 brake. Yeah, that all seems to be working now. So obviously that isn't my final solution. I would dearly love to get the soldering iron out, but I don't think that's happening today. But we'll tape up these connections and we'll aim to get some replacement bulb holders. You can get an entire loom for one of these all the way from Australia. The loom comes all the way through to here, to this multi-plug. You can see I've got some towing wiring hanging off it as well. So you can just replace this entire section, which I'm pretty sure we did when I was down in Christchurch with old Cauliflower McPug. Hello, sir. I believe we went off to a scrapyard and found a rear loom for one of these. And because I was having problems with the brake lights. I spent rather too much time upside down in that footwell replacing the brake light switch. It wasn't that, it turned out to be the wiring, I think. So yeah, interesting. Right, let's make that a little more proper. Well, I can tell you it's so cold my thumbprints will no longer unlock my phone. So that's great. We've got some insulation tape here. She's starting to go rock hard in the cold, but there we are. So yeah, I've had to swap these over because I did the bulb wrong. But for the purposes of what we're about, which is making the car road legal and functioning again, this will do fine. But yeah, this isn't quite where I want my content to be really, but January is such a difficult month for filming, and this is actually the reality of it. It's all well and good doing collection capers and stuff, but I'm kind of documenting the real life of just keeping the cars going, and sometimes it's frustrating stuff like this. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap both of those in a bit of the loom tape I've got here, I think. if you're really careful with this, you can slice it just enough on the roll. But you can then pull a piece off. Like so. Oh, marvellous. Love it when a plan comes together. It's really just to try and keep moisture out of it as best as possible, really. If you're going to bodge it, try and bodge it right. A little bit more on the top there. Be a good idea. Yeah, what I actually want to be doing is sat at home in the warm, reading the latest Richard Osman book. But nonetheless, I'm here. But I've got to get it sorted. We're having a games night at home. And yeah, I can't be messing about with cars. Family time is so very, very important and feels like something that has limits at the moment. With the eldest going to university this year, we've had the horrifying thought that next year the younger HubNut can drive on the road. They grow up so fast, folks. They really do. Gosh, I'm very, very cold at this point. Right, I'm going to put the lamp back in. We'll do a test and then we'll be going back home. And once again, I will be failing to tighten up the alternator belt on the Corsa that I've been meaning to do for weeks. That's my bodged one. So that's the tail light fog light, not tail light fog light, tail light brake light. And there we go. And this one's the fog light, which is still an LED bulb fitted by Mr. Up and Down, the Aussie Ford specialist down in Fareham, not really, to pass an MOT. So it means I've only got one reverse light. Now there are kits available where you can have a bulb be both a reverse and a fog, but I've never got around to fitting one of them. No, that's not quite there. I should have done the fog light one first. The wiring seems rather shorter. So let's do that. What a faff. But hey, compared to many modern cars, this is probably an absolute piece of cake. Modern car, you'd probably have to replace the entire lamp unit at a cost of hundreds of pounds if part of it stops functioning. There's not to be said for simple old bulbs, even if today I'm discovering slightly the downsides of that. That goes back in there, that goes in there. Let's get rid of this little bit of masking tape left over, and we'll do a final rear lamp check. If I put you there, I can use you for checking purposes. So ignition on, indicator, brake light, yes, tail light, brake, yes, and then my fog light is down here. I don't know if it'll work on the side. Yeah, there we go. That's my fog light. Beautiful. So I can take my brake pedal operating lever away and pack up and consider that for now jobbed. Does the hat look ridiculous? It hasn't quite stretched to my head yet, this new hat. They take a bit of bedding in, these beanies. But there we go. The only other thing to mention, the class of 2024 design is coming to an end. Obviously, we're not in 2024 anymore. Those shirts are discounted. We've got yellow shirts, small up to 2XL, white shirts for 3XL only. Those have never been on the store before. I suddenly realised we hadn't actually put them on the website. We're wondering why they weren't selling. That'd be why. So all available at HubNut.org on the old website, the free web store for UK buyers. And I think we can do America there as well. But like I say, fourth wall for some of our other stuff, and it should be available more worldwide. But yeah, thank you very much. And there'll be more coming on this car soon as I finally make my decision on the wheels and we get her matching, not my Volkswagen LT. See you soon.